This is Radio TV Phono Nut, and this is something that's a little newer than what I normally mess with. But I picked it up at a yard sale. It was only $1, so I said I'll take a chance on it. It's a Sangean Pocket AM/FM radio with a digital display. It also receives the audio for TV channels 2 through 9, so that tells me that this was made prior to the DTV flip over in 2009. Looks like it's been pretty well cared for. It's not all beat up, but unfortunately somebody left batteries in it that leaked, and we're going to attempt to take this apart and try to repair it. If the battery leakage didn't make it past the battery terminals in the radio, it might be okay, but if it leaked all over the printed circuit board, then I might as well probably just throw this radio in the trash and consider myself lucky that all I lost was $1. As you can see there, it's not the worst I've ever seen, but hopefully we can clean it up and make it work again. I got in there with a contact cleaner and cleaned it up a little, so before we tear into it, let's put some batteries in it and see what happens. Probably nothing. Well, I'm getting a display. Let's see what happens when I press the power button. 87.5. Okay, you have to have the switch set to the speaker position.
Labor warranty on all.
Yeah, this is one that's mono through the built-in speaker, or stereo, or mono if you use the headphones. Alright, the FM reception sucks, but I suspect that is probably because there's no antenna on this radio, and they probably use the headset cable for the antenna, which we don't have the headset, so it's not going to be that sensitive, but I'm more interested in AM anyway. Let's see if this will bring in 670, our little puny hole-in-the-wall black gospel station. No, apparently it didn't. Apparently it's not going to lock on anything. Alright, AM, that's all we get is static, nothing else. It's like the antenna is not even connected. So let's open it up and see if our battery acid made its way inside and possibly corroded the antenna wire off of the loop stick and destroyed it. And yep, that's exactly what's happened here. As you can see, the wires leading from the loop stick antenna have broken loose, probably with the help of some battery acid. Now the question is, am I going to be able to fix this? As tiny as these wires are, this is worse than the phonograph wire used in the tone arm of a record player. Alright, I had the broken wire soldered. It was a royal pain in the butt. And I have some electrical tape very sloppily placed on here to kind of keep the wire from touching something. I'm going to put it back together, and it's going to get one shot. Either it works on AM or it'll be an FM only radio. Because, you know, when you have very poor eyesight, doing this is a royal pain in the butt. And this is one reason why I like the older technology. The parts are actually big enough that you can see them. This surface-mounted stuff, like what's in this radio, is not meant to be serviced. When it breaks, that's just the end of it. You throw it out and get another one. And I notice there's plenty of these radios on eBay for under $30, so I only have $1 in this one, so if it's a fail, it's no big deal. It is what it is. Well, I got it halfway back together. It still doesn't work. Everything, you get one piece in and another piece falls out. So I tell you what, we're going to have a little fun with this. A little EOL of sorts. And it's a Shango's mumble rap station. This is why you don't leave leaky batteries and stuff. And if you're not going to use something, you take the batteries out. Even if you're using something, you check the batteries periodically, because I've seen brand new ones leak, especially Duracell crap. Well, that didn't take long to kill that one, did it? Okay, takes care of that one. And now I'll present to you a real vintage pocket radio that works. It's a Zenith Royal 50, probably from about 1961 or so. And this radio's already been recapped, not by me, by the person I previously got it from. I've had this radio for years. Runs on 2 AA batteries. And no, I'm not going to leave them in there and let them leak, but even if these leaked, I could probably come near fixing this radio, because it's a nice spacious board without all of the surface mount stuff on it. And if something was to get eat up, I could probably trace it out a lot easier than I could the one I just gave the crowbar treatment to now. I realize what happened to that radio. Its malfunction was not the radio's manufacturer's fault. It was the fault of some dimwit letting batteries leak in it. I've heard those radios are decent radios, but I've yet to find out. Maybe I'll get on eBay and get one that's not damaged and see what the deal is. But, you know, this one here does just fine for AM, this old Zenith.
Hey, thanks for calling, man.
And baby step 2. So I am actually about to be a surrogate mom, and I'm going to have
Disrupt, deflect, nefarious.
so heavy. My legs were extreme.
I wonder where WSM is. Maybe it's not late enough, but of course you wouldn't expect hi-fi sound on any of these pocket radios like this, but it performs well enough. Alright, I think this is a good note to end the video on. The label on the back of the radio, and I can read it through the magnified viewfinder on the camera, so let's see. All transistor Zenith quality radio. Quality built in America by highly skilled, well-paid American workers. And I don't know about you all, but I think we need to get back to that and get away from this Chinesium 666 garbage that's not designed to last and certainly not designed to be repaired. Like I said earlier, the radio we just EOL'd was not designed to be repaired. And perhaps had someone not left batteries in it to leak, it might have survived okay. But when you got all this surface-mounted stuff that's all jumbled together on a little board that's smaller than the board that's in this AM-only radio, then there's not much you can do with that. Now, this Royal 50 line, I think Zenith made it for years. And I want to say that by the mid-60s, they had shifted production to Hong Kong or Taiwan. And I think 1970 was the last year for American-made table radios by Zenith. I'm not sure when the production of the transoceanic shifted to Taiwan, but it wasn't long after that. I know by about 71 or 2, the production of the little 12-inch black and white TVs had shifted to Taiwan. In fact, I have such a set that will be featured in a upcoming video. It's a little 72 Zenith, little hybrid 12-inch black and white, and you know, they were still decent televisions. They just weren't made in the United States. But even back in the 60s, the decline started, and it's just been getting worse until we're at the point we are today, where virtually everything electronic is coming out of China, at least on the consumer level anyway. And it's just really sickening when you think about it. When you think about the United States was a manufacturing superpower, and now all of that's gone. You know, you had all the old companies like Admiral, Philco, Motorola, Westinghouse, GE. I could go on all night with companies that were just turning out radios and TVs and stereos and phonographs right here in the United States. And most of them were decent sets. I mean, even the cheap Muntz TVs were high-end considered to a lot of the crap they make today.